All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. We had some excellent rotations in the equities, gold. Everything's moving really nicely this morning. Was able to catch some really nice trades here pre-market and at the open. So we'll go over those trades here in a minute. Just want to let everybody get a chance to kind of filter in. Morning, Carlos, Zalos. Good morning, guys. I hope everybody had a nice weekend. Hope you enjoyed. If you're in the United States, we had a nice 3-day weekend. It was the 4th of July. Looks like we're coming off this upper band. All right, guys, if you're on TradingView, you might want to drop a anchored VWAP at the open because TradingView is still following the VWAP from the other day, the other session. So might be a good idea to drop yourself an anchored VWAP at that 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to watch both of them today. They're starting to line up, but we have a little bit of a tighter band on the anchored VWAP. So something you're going to want to be mindful of today. Whenever we get a half day in the markets, that tends to happen. And we're right back here at IB high, lower band. I'm based on the cumulative delta expecting lower. I don't know how fast that's going to happen, but we'll see. Right now, we're kind of in balance on the session. I have this value area low marked out, which we've held so far on the higher time frame. It's right around here. So let's see if that continues to hold. If we can break below it, we can go all the way back down to let's say 875. It's another 50 points from here. Morning, Tony. D-bomb. So I'm going to let this action kind of play itself out. I don't want to short into this level here. Let's see if we get some more downside action, and then we can start looking for some more shorts. Right now, everything is still kind of value-based, right? With this type of momentum, I'm not sure I would want to long this either at this point. This is like the third time it's tested. A lot of selling pressure right here. Cumulative delta is starting to break lower. So let's see if we get some follow through to the downside. We got some buyer step in there. Morning, JP. Morning, Smart Crasher.
West coast of the South Island in New Zealand.
See if they can.
Voice use disconnected.
Yeah, we got some buyer step in there, guys. That was interesting. What a wick. 20-point wick there on NQ. NQ's coming up. Gold's coming up to upper band now as well. 905 on the composite. Good call. Let's draw ourselves a composite here. I'm trying to figure out my layout here. Having this in the middle of the screen was not working out for me. That should work well. That should work better. Okay, so let's draw ourselves a composite. I'll probably take here to here. All right, we got a level here. That's quite interesting. We have a level right here, which is about 750. And then we have the value area high, really. So let's mark that. All right, that should do the trick for now. A lot more upside room. Morning, Scott. Morning, Logger. Nice, be magical. I took a bunch of trades so far. Let's go over what we got so far. So this is my cash account. You guys can see this. I don't know if can you read these numbers here? Assuming they're kind of small, but I'm not sure if they're blurry or clear or what, based on how small it is for you guys. Let me get a little feedback from you. Looking for his magnifying glass. Yeah, it's blurry. All right. About 485 in the cash account. These were shorts off of VWAP. I'll do this. So this is this was a long off lower band, that trade that we've been getting over and over again, right? We came down out of the open, reclaimed lower band, went long, right? We had a nice range on this candle. I was able to hit profit target in my top one futures, 625 ideally. So right there, 622. So that was a value area extreme long out of the open. Henry was just talking about that trade. We've been getting it over and over again. All right, the sell off, lower band holds, reclaim, go long right here. Let's go over to the top step. I kind of crushed it in the top step, guys. Kind of crushed it. $1,700 in profit times 5. So I got these up 6K in profits in 2 days each. So I'm going to slow it down a little bit. I'm going to try and get these funded again by Thursday. So I'll do another $1,000 a day for the next 3 days. Turn these back into XFAs, and then we try again. Because I blew the last ones. As if you have been around, we talked about that. It's already history for me. I'm on to the next one. Focus on these. So $500 cash, top step X, hit, top one futures at hit. So what am I going to trade, guys? I picked up a top take profit trader account. So we're gonna trade that. That for now. You log out of here. Let me log into that account. So, it's a tough place to trade right here. Cumulative delta doesn't have any convincing buyers to the upside. We're making lower highs on the cumulative delta, which is indicative of buyer exhaustion down here. If we break this level, we can expect some more significant downside, right? If you look at the daily, we have room to fall here, guys, for a decent pullback. And on the back of this tariff news, I wouldn't be surprised if we put in a decently red day, a percent, even 1.5. So we'll see what happens. But we have lots of time. It's still early. It's only 10:08 in the morning. We've only been streaming about 8 minutes here. So we have lots of time here. We're going to look for some good trades. I'm going to be trading this take profit trader account. I actually already did 2,500 bucks in it. I did that last week. So I got to get 9K in this account. Okay. I'm in it to win it. Let's go. Let me put this back on. There you go. All right, so that trade of 8 in the bottom left, that is my take profit trader account. And I'll be trading this one live on stream today. Let's see how we do. Now, let's watch. Let us watch. All right, what are you guys saying? Chris, thanks again for showing your execution screen. Is very helpful to me. Absolutely. Libby says I blew up my 150K since account in January. They pay fast. Yep. Hopefully I can get to that account. That would be nice. All right, let's see what happens on the cumulative delta here. Let's take a look at this. Would like to see some more downside here. I'm going to probably start a little position here. Hopefully they don't squeeze us out. All right. See if we can get some continuation. There we go. Have a stop at break even there, guys. Hopefully we get some continuation. Otherwise, I don't want to be squeezed out of this short. So I'd rather get out for break even than turn this winning trade into a loser. You guys are probably wondering why I'm shorting into value area low and lower band. You know, we do have some weakness here. And I'll get stopped out either way. Can't take a loss on this trade. So I'm looking for price discovery to the downside here. There we go. A quick 250 there, right into lower band. So I'm trading from value area low to lower band there. Level to level, some buyers step in. I should probably get that stop out of there, huh? Right back to where I was. Right now it would be, I would have gotten stopped out, break even. Instead, I took a quick 250 bucks. Oh, JP wants to know ticks, right? So that was like 8 points. Sorry, JP. I'm going to try and be better about that. I think it makes perfect sense to talk in terms of ticks and points as opposed to profits. I'm just so used to it. So I will try and break out of that. I think it makes perfect sense, though. If you guys are watching on YouTube, I apologize. I don't really follow the chat there as closely. So good morning, Trader Rick. Good morning, Garaduce. Jovan. Good morning, Mohammed. Is it bad to take a short trade? You know, this is a tough spot to take. We haven't fundamentally accepted out of this value area. So I'm just taking little momentum scalps to the downside. But we haven't fundamentally broken out into price discovery to the downside on this session yet. So this could quickly reverse and go back to the other side of value or VWAP. So if you are short or looking to short, be very careful, manage your risk, because there is not a real short setup here yet. Right now, this is a price discovery. This is a fade value area extreme long. The Discord stream is in the Discord. Make sure, Altered Ego, that you connect your Discord in WAP, where you signed up for the free trial. Connect your Discord in WAP after signing up. If you have any issues doing that, let me know. So this is the Zierman cumulative delta. It's lagging. obviously, because it's based on averages. So it's kind of good for seeing overall direction. But for like right here, right now, order flow, I use Trade which is on the bottom left side of your screen here. This is much more accurate. And what I really love about the Trade cumulative delta is it gives me green, red, and gray, with red being abnormal selling pressure, green being abnormal buying pressure, and gray just being kind of muted price action. All right, so I did expect lower, and it looks like we're starting to get it. I would not short here at this point. I missed the good location because this could rip right back in our faces. We're going to look for pullbacks to get short. Right? So there it goes. You know, quick 40 ticks in your face in 1 minute if you're trying to short down there. I just did a video about this yesterday. You don't want to short the bottoms, guys. You can try and catch breakouts, but be prepared, especially when we're at this level. Laura, I would recommend anchoring your VWAP to, I would still have the session because we have these second set of bands that are important, but to the 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time candle. Hella, you're not alone. Hella says, I've mastered shorting the bottom and longing the top. Yeah, many of us have too. Just do the opposite of what I do, or I used to do. Yeah, we don't want to short unless, you know, there are momentum traders, right? But, you know, the momentum trade has to come when we pick up momentum after we've broke out, and we haven't yet. This is what we call excess price. Excess price, right? These wicks, rejections, excess price. Not a breakout. Also known as a fake breakout. So when we have an established value area and we test the outer limits, we can often get these explorations into it and then it comes right back into value. All right, that's how we know it was excess price. JP, that's a cool. I like that. Anything that helps control yourself, guys, I'm all for. If you're finding it trouble to manage completely on discipline or willpower, control your environment, right? I also did a video on risk management controls. I don't know, that might have been Saturday or Friday. Guys, use those tools. Use the tools. There's no reason you have to rely on your willpower when you have tools that takes your willpower out of the equation. Right? If you only want to risk $500 on the day, set your max loss to $500 for the day and then lock yourself out. Don't change it. Don't touch it. If you can lock yourself out of the risk settings, do it. I often equate it to if you're trying to lose weight, right? And you love to eat candy, right? Don't keep candy in the house. Don't have it just sitting there on the counter while you're trying to lose. I mean, do I torture yourself? The exact same thing with risk management controls, guys. You don't have to tempt yourself. Just take the temptation out of the equation. Be magical. There's no problem with being a micro scalper, man. I take a lot of small trades and I do very, very well. You can make good money as a micro scalper. It's a lot more work and it could be a little more stressful. But also it's a great way of managing risk because if you're wrong, you know, you have to cut your trades right away. So Sorry to hear that, JP. All right, that's good, Carlitos. Sometimes just digging out of the hole is a win for the day. All right, so we're kind of at the upper end of, let's drop a distribution here. All right, so we have this low volume area at 40. Next stop, VWAP. If we break through this, we have a lot going on in a very tight range, guys. Yeah, I'm going to sit tight. I'm going to wait for some better trades. Is Corey on today? Corey in the audience? Usually he says hi. I don't think he is. I was going to do what he enjoys. Getting paid on stream. I'll do that a little later. When you trade in a cash Trade Evade account, guys, you can withdraw your profits literally same day. If I withdraw them now, I made 500 bucks cash in my cash account. I can withdraw it now. That money will be in my bank account by this evening. Can't beat that. The best. Amit, be sure to join the free Discord. There's a lot of good information there on the strategy I play. Also recently wrote a book. I encourage you to check out all of the free content. And then once you go through that, there's a free trial. And then once you go through that, you can look at, maybe upgrading or what have you. But there's a ton of great ways to get started absolutely free. I make this thing super low friction for anybody who's interested. All right, so we're kind of battling with this lower volume area. I wouldn't call it a low volume node. I'd call them little divots. Yeah, I agree with you, Logger. I'm going to wait too. We'll get some good moves, guys. There will be good trades. Still early. I hear you guys quoting a lot of Top Step. That's the first time I ever heard that was on Top Step TV. Tradertainment. No diddy. Oh man, Ricci right there. That 250, man. If you still take a bad trade, get out of it quick. You could really set yourself back. That last kind of like couple $100 can screw you mentally from trying to take an L on a bad trade. How do I set up my TradeAvate screen? I do have a link you guys can use for that. What is that? Oh, this is my, that's why. This is a take profit trader. All right, testing VWAP again. It's a very slow news day. So this looks interesting. The cumulative delta looks like we're finding some buyers kind of coming out of this ditch a little bit. Now the problem is I don't want to long into VWAP. And if we break VWAP, I don't want to long into value area high. And if we break value area high, do I want to long into upper band, right? I think fades are the better trades here, guys. But we're going to wait to get to a better extremity. And I'm not a huge fan of shorting these markets after a failed breakdown. So we don't have a lot of opportunity quite yet. Let's see if we get a rejection of VWAP. Point of control right here. Value area high. You know, this might be the better short location, but, you know, let's see if we can get a little confirmation or something. Cumulative delta is saying, no, don't do it. Don't short. Not yet, anyway. Let's see when we get up to 70. 85. I kind of like this area better. So let's see if we get there. Could try and go long. Cumulative delta is kind of convincing on the long side of things here now that we've broken above VWAP. Bad. Got a low momentum scalp long there. Cumulative delta is bullish. Got a little bit of sellers coming in here, but nothing really convincing. It's almost more interesting to jump on the bid here. Let's see if this gets bought up. Have to jump out. Mm. Okay. Well, now we're going to get back in, back below VWAP. All right, let's see if we get the bigger fade here. Smack this with some size. All right, made back a little bit of that loser there. Do we still like it? Short. Booyah. Come on, lower. right, put me at 440. Not bad. I'll be right back.
According to a post on X, Iran's president says the supreme leader believes US investors can come to Iran.
So that was an excellent example for you guys. I don't know if anybody was following how I was trading there, but I was long above VWAP. Got one good trade. Then I took another because, we had a small pullback in the cumulative delta, but we were holding up, so I expected more upside. And I got caught off sides with two minis. That was probably at, let's see, the 30-minute mark on the video. So if you guys want to go back, 30-minute mark. And I cut it, it wasn't, I was wrong, right? Got to get out. I'll look for the next trade. Then I caught two awesome shorts. Not only did the first one pretty much made my money back on the loser, but the second one put me up before I took that loss. Just like that. Minutes, guys. You have to get comfortable with taking your losers when you're wrong. You'll be so much happier when you just cut that thing and work on the next good trade than getting stuck holding some garbage that you wish you would have gotten out earlier. KG Moneymaker says, I'm sure you've said this a million times, but the volume profile and anchored VWAP both start at 6 p.m. Correct. IB is the only thing that changes in the mornings. Yes, and I also have, KG, we have the session volume profile on the top left here on the hourly chart. This starts at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but then I drop another volume profile at the open, 9:30 a.m., the same time as the initial balance. And then this chart has the 6 p.m. VWAP on it as well. I saw selling momentum step in on the order flow, hella, and then we were starting to break VWAP. So I got the hell out. We had this big wick on the 5-minute. And I'm glad I did, because that would have been, with two minis. All right, so now I'm up 440 instead of being down $1,000 if I would still be holding that trade. This is a 5-minute. I'm trading on the 1-minute. Yes, on NQ. This is a 1-minute on trade of 8 here. Okay, so this looks like we could get more downside here. We're coming back down to this level that has been really key. We do have a bit of a divergence here on the cumulative delta. We're getting close to making new lows on price while delta is holding up here. So that could be, there could be a lot of trapped longs. Trading and chatting is hard. You should try live streaming and trading. You want hard. Ten 10:01. Yeah, that was a valid long. AK. Absolutely. It's also in confluence with the value area low from the session and the regular trading hours. I mean, it's a good trade location long. We're still in value. We are holding in balance. Fade value area extremes has been the setup so far. So AK, absolutely. That was a good fade value area extreme setup. You might have caught, let's say you got in at 20. You could have caught 10 points, 40 ticks so far. I don't know how greedy I would get with that, but that's a good recommendation, JP. So I'd watch your longs. This is still a fairly bearish setup we have going on here. So I think there are long setups, fade value extreme long, but overall in the higher time frame, this thing is looking like we could get another leg down here sooner or later. Now I could be wrong. I'm wrong all the time. I'm just telling you guys what I see. I'm not trying to talk anybody out of their trades. Yeah, I would manage your longs, guys. Feels heavy. Now this thing keeps getting bought up at value area low. We could very much have a balanced day today. We'll see. It's also very value area low on today's distribution, 930. Oh, it's actually kind of like almost point of control, actually. I see a little lower as kind of the inflection point, probably like 900. Well, 915, let's say. So 920. I'm going to do something here real quick before I take my next trade. All right, I'm gonna pay myself 535 bucks today out of this cash account. I unlocked myself out. Money is on the way. All right, I'll have it in my account by tonight. Okay. Looks like it wants to eat through this level, guys. Let's see if it does it. Nope, buyers come in again. Buyers are anemic, though. On the cumulative delta, it's not very convincing. You can see right down here. This is not impressive for going long. Now they're trying. Let's see if they can get out of this hole. But nothing convincing yet. If we do, I'll go long. Come on. Is this thing going to break now after all that? Man, they got me good on that one, huh? That was close. It's probably going to stop me out. Bad trade. Bad trade. No, not yet. I'll look for the short, momentum short if we keep going lower, though. Actually, you know what? See if we can break this level. Let's go. Come on. Spinning my wheels over here. Was that the false breakdown now? Jesus. Crazy. Shorts got toasted if you didn't hold on, if you held on to that. Gotta switch your biases, guys, especially when you see stuff like that. Let's go. It's 25. Eh. Man, they're faking everybody out. This is like, whoa. This is tough, guys. I'm telling you right now, this is not easy.
We are seeing a quiet news session here. Stocks falling as the dollar's rising at the start of a potentially volatile week as US trading partners rushed to finalize deals with Trump's administration before Wednesday's deadline. But we are seeing here short-dated treasuries outperforming.
Dude, I'm just getting churned. Commission churned. I'm up 680, but I'm gonna calm down here a second. And I took a bunch of losses. But as soon as I'm wrong, I'm out, man. If I see things switching, I gotta switch it up. Very choppy right here. AK, I don't recommend waiting for 5-minute candles to close. I think if you wait for a 5-minute candle to close, you could very well miss the trade. I would use order flow as opposed to things like candles closing. Morning, Tony. This looks like we can grind out of here again. Stopped out. Just like no direction. Sure feels like lower. Still like short. 880. All right, we're at that level again. Looks like it's tanking through it. Let's see if we can hold this time. Cumulative delta isn't convincing one way or the other. Yeah, I'd be careful with longs too. Your overall chart feels very bearish. Come on. Break this level. Stopped out. Break even. Ha ha ha. Yes. Caught that. I'm up 1,300 bucks. All right. I want you guys to go back. You guys wanted scalping demonstrated on stream. You got it. I was stopped out at break even right before that. I got right back on the ask and then it dumped. That was beautiful. Yeah, it's tough. You got to be fast, you got to be nimble, and you have to be decisive, right? In and out, cutting losers quick, getting the wins. It's just a constant ba 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 ba. I did that one for you, Libby. Well, it was a good morning of trading. It's not even 11 yet, and I've hit lots of profit targets. Let's see. We did top one, 620. We did top step 1,700 times 5. We did live trade of 8. 535. We did tops take profit trader 1280. That's not a bad morning, is it? JP, I love that. Sometimes after every trade, whether winner or loser, it's good to step back, you know? So I think we can go all the way down to 850 from here. Another 40 points.
So Russian data shows that crude output stayed below the OPEC Plus target in June.
All right. Sure looks weak. Bleed out from here. Cumulative delta hasn't really broken the level yet. What happened to my tick strike? All right, back test off of IB low there. Let's see if it holds. Come on. Get out of here. All right, I'm going to swing for the fences a little bit on this one, I think. Let's go. Come on. Dang. I test here. Oh, it's ripping out of this hole. Let's see if we hold here. Got away from me. Let's go. We're going to revisit these lows. Nice trade. Put me at 1640. Maybe I should stop before I get myself in trouble. Oh boy. Nice player. It's just so bearish looking, right? But the problem with these setups, NQ can squeeze you out before it goes lower. I mean, that was a good 30, 40 point pop there. Cumulative delta is still kind of like hasn't gone lower, which is not bearish, right? We got some passive buyers here. A lot of passive buyers, but that could be some big shorts filling up as well. Still looks like a good short. I would wait for these buyers to get trapped again and then hit it short. As long as we stay below this 915 level, I'm bearish. Continue to expand this distribution. That's the one thing I really don't love about it, is this is a pretty clear distribution right here, right? It's not really indicative of a trend day to the downside yet. If we pick up and start getting some acceleration to the downside, which we very well could, as it sucks in longs here. Libby, I got Take Profit Trader has the CVD on Trade of 8. Or Tradeify probably also has it as well. Yeah, and so far there's no news today. Even the news guy was like, it's a slow news day. Just not a lot going on right now. So this could very well stay in balance, but either way, I'm done trading for today. I've done really, really well. So I'll keep watching with you guys. You know, we'll call the market out for the next 50 minutes or so and see what we get. But I've traded all of my accounts really, really well today. So I'm going to take that as a W. Zane, I trade cash too. Zane asked me if I trade prop firms to keep your capital long-term invested. I do have a Roth and some bigger accounts that I trade options on, like credit spreads and stuff, and my other capital invested. My futures account is very small now. I'm actually only trading with a $3,000 cash account. That's all I need. I only trade one or two minis. And if I'm losing $1,000 on my trade, I'm not trading very well. So I manage my risk in that cash account. I don't need a lot of cash to make good money. I made $500 on my $3,000 cash account. I withdrew a ton of money out of that. Gold is, gold was a return to value. We had two good return to value setups that were also IB mid, lower band. We broke IB high. We back tested, and now we've gone to VWAP. All right, this could be a VWAP bounce short, is the setup I see right now. And that kind of lines up on our higher time frame. We have kind of the top end of this distribution. We have a low volume node right there. So looks like a short to me on gold. Victor, I suggest top one is a great place to start with a smaller account just to practice. I like Project X. Give you a link here. With Tradeovate, Zane, it's only $1,000 margin, day trading margin per contract. Victor, well, I'm here every morning. If you want to trade with me, I am here trading every morning. Same time. I think the guys here can testify to that I'm quite reliable. I show up. I go through everything live on stream. I go through all the accounts that I trade. Good days, bad days. Luckily, there's a lot more good days than bad days. I've been trading really well. I do have some boneheaded mistakes I've made over the last couple of months, but nothing too serious, nothing that affects me too drastically. I still generally start at 10 a.m., Victor, but I am available. I'm calling out stuff in the main chat, which is exclusive to the Discord. So I'm very active in there all day, every day on the main chat, which is private to the premium members. Zane says that bad day was kind of refreshing to witness. All green is hard to relate to at times. Yeah, very true. I was very upset about that day. I I feel like I spent the entire morning groaning about it, but it is what it is. Came in today over it. So, that day it stings. Give me a nice weekend in between, and I'm ready. I'm back at it, ready to go. Right back on the horse. Blair says, I was reading the book last night for price discovery continuation. Reach or go past the second band for taking the entry off the first continuation. And we went over this in Q&A last night too. The upper band or lower band continuation plays are better when there's strength or time are accepted outside of the bands. You get a better trade. Clearing up a lot of things that didn't quite get from the Only the Core Setups Guide PDF. Awesome, Blair. Love the feedback. I've been getting a ton of great feedback on the book, guys. Really appreciate it. And I love the support. I'm glad it's helping a lot of people. How did I know that NQ was going to dump like that? I don't know. I felt like I was kind of talking through it. We had value area low, we had key levels. Once it broke, could expect at least a flush to the downside. This was the level I was watching, 915-ish. And cumulative delta showed sellers on the tape. So we got the dump. And so far, we've retraced it back to the key level. We haven't broken above it yet. So far, it's not a bear trap, but it could very well be. If we reclaim this 915 level and hold above it, then it's going to start looking like a bear trap. We could start looking to go long again.
And Trump's trade advisor Navarro adds that
Thank you, Zane.
Yep. Acute financial pain. Navarro calls for the Fed board to intervene against Powell's stance.
Book is VWAP Wave System, and it's available on Amazon. If you're not in the United States, just go to your country's Amazon. I know people have bought it in India and the UK and Germany. People all around the world are buying it, which I think is freaking cool. It's not something I really expected when I started this. I expected to build, and I don't know why, but mostly a US based audience because I thought that would be just what would happen. And what's actually happened is developing an international audience, which I've actually really enjoyed. Seeing people come from all different walks of life, all different corners of the world, coming together to trade, putting all differences aside in such a what's seemingly a divisive world filled with conflict, we could all put those differences aside and work towards a common goal here, which is very cool. I love that. Yeah, it did bounce right off that lower band, didn't it? To the tick. To the tick. Ah, we got Dardis from Morocco. Welcome, Dardis. Good to have you. Thank you, Blair. I felt the same way. We seem to draw a nice quality of trader here. Mature, professional, supportive. I really haven't had any problems. Zero. I'm sure I'll get one sooner or later, but yeah, I can see that, Zane. Yeah, and it's also the VWAP today's session VWAP and the lower band on the month. Yep, I see it right there. Let's see if it holds. It can stay up here for a bit. It's also the 50% extension. Still like it's short. It seems to be holding. Let's see what the cumulative delta. It's not all that great on gold, but let's take a look. Delta is quite bearish, which is interesting because it's holding up. So somebody's picking up these shares or contracts, I should say. Does look like it wants to go lower, but you know, not as reliable as the equity cumulative deltas, I can tell you. I think if we break above VWAP and hold, would nullify. It doesn't, what sucks though is we could get a, you know, a VWAP trap where it breaks and holds around here for like a half hour, an hour, and then it goes down. So
So in 10 minutes time now at the bottom of the hour, the US is due to sell 82 billion in 3 month.
markets love to trap.
High yield was 4.235%, private to cover 3.04. The US is also due to sell $73 billion in 6 month bills with a prior high yield of 4.235% and a private to cover 2.77.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say here, guys, on gold because, you know, looks like we're recovering from this sell-off at the same time. We are coming up to a key level, this 332. I think we should be patient and see some selling come in before going short. Sorry, I think I missed your question, Libby. I'm in a long position on ES, but I want a short VWAP lower band on ES. Does it stop my long position? Yes, you can't be long and short at the same time. They would virtually cancel each other out. Nice, KZen. Past 2 combines. I need a we need some applause. I need a soundboard. I don't see the soundboard in the stage in here. Looks like it's only in the voice channel. That's for Ken. Good job passing 2 50K combines. Gold looks strong. Looks like it wants to eat through this VWAP. So, in my opinion, that nullifies the short trade idea at this point. NQ. We're moving slow though on NQ now. So now we've kind of built this distribution here. Right? We have this low volume area, which I marked by this gray band here, right? We have a new distribution, right, which has its own point of control. And then we have this lower value, low volume node. So we'll see how this plays out. There is. KG, but on NQ it's going to be hard to see because the ticks there's so many ticks. You'll probably see it better on ES. If we were to do ES, let's drop a 5 minute here. Got the volume profile. All right, so here's our volume profile. You can go to let's see, style, values. See, and if I zoom in, you can see them.
In 5 minutes time now, I do see the release of the US 3 and 6 month bill auctions. The 3 month bill prior high rate was 4.235%. It's cover prior 3.04. The 6 month bill
See these?
prior 4.11%. Rabbit cover of 2.77.
Make sure you can see them. But yeah, they're there. So if you're buying buy bid and join bid, buy bid and join bid would be the same thing. You would sell the bid, right? Hold on. It's buy market, join bid. Oh, buy bid. Yeah, buy bid and join bid are the same thing. Same thing. It's funny how they have different things there. Yeah, no, same exact. I don't know. It's a great question. Why are they different? I don't know. It's weird. I've never noticed that. But yeah, that would be the same exact thing. Yeah, starting to catch a little bit of a bounce here. Now NQ is starting to try and get through this level. This is a key level right here, guys. This level right here. This is what we're watching. I want to turn this back to my regular. All right. We're above it now. This could be the return to value play. Yep. Okay, now the back test long. We might not get it because this is a low volume node and we just kind of traversed it. Might just hold here. We'll see. Could get a back test.
We're shortly expecting the results of both the US 3 and 6-month bill auctions.
Done for the day. Took a long there. Now up 690. Thanks for the guidance, Chris and team. You're very welcome, Carlos. Good work. Good work, sir. See, it's kind of holding, right? Because we have a low volume node that it just kind of broke and held above. So next stop is going to be this point of control. Then we have a little kind of low volume divot right here. It's got to get through that too. This is going to kind of be the next inflection point. And then it's kind of like right here, which is pretty close to VWAP. And then we have this level. Yeah, the fact that ES is still kind of grinding down by those lows is not helpful to NQ's long case either. But let's see what happens. We have the back test of the lower band here. All right, looks like it's getting bought up. Where is my tick strike? Yeah, the Dow is selling off pretty hard. Down spot 7. The Russell's down full point. So what we're watching here is for a back test long. There it goes. I don't know why I can't hear my tick strike. Oh, I know why. There we go. Okay, well, that was the back test long. I mean, it played out perfectly. That's what we were waiting for, and we got it. Played out textbook. Return to value, back test lower band. You would have caught, almost 20 points there. 80 ticks in 2 minutes. Nice, Jody. All right, Libby. Nice, Corey.
So We're still waiting on the results of both the 3 and 6 monthly auctions. Seems to be slightly delayed today.
With trade of 8. I opened it with trade of 8. I've had that count for a couple years now. So that was a touch of point of control to the tick. Point of control is at 9:30. Jody, I don't link my accounts together. I trade them all separately. Okay, some sellers stepping in here. Interesting how price held pretty much this anchored volume from that capitulation candle. Held it really nice. You could have kept buying that for 10-point scalps over and over again. Carlos, I usually I'll start with top one or top step. One of those two, and I'll do the other one. And then I'll finish with cash generally. But today I did a little different. I did top step, top one, cash, then take profit trader. I like to switch it up, you know? Keep it interesting. Move around the risk a little bit. Looks like there could be another long opportunity right here. I don't know, we'll see. Oh. Right back to the lower band. Does it hold? Oh, it looks like the sellers are really marching in here. See what happens. Guys, I'll be right back. There it is again. To the tick. Look at that. Anybody take it again? Nice. Nice, Chuck. Good little scalp. Got about a 10-point scalp, 40 ticks. Based on the touch, if you timed it well. So this is kind of the level. If we keep holding it above it, you know, still longs. This is kind of my line in the sand right here. Longs above it, shorts below it. Well, thanks to everybody on YouTube for joining us. I don't have a ton of viewers on YouTube, but it's been growing nicely. $19.62. Yeah, ES is not playing along, is it? Complete divergence in ES and NQ right here. NQ is relatively strong comparatively.
Al Jazeera, citing Russia's Foreign Minister Lavrov, says that Russia is ready to supply Iran with enriched uranium at a level sufficient for a peaceful nuclear program.
The sheep market? Like literally the market for sheep? Like live cattle and lean hogs and sheep? You haven't lived until you've traded lean hogs, guys. That's the market we're going to go to with the VWAP Wave system. We're going all in on lean hogs. Let's see what the chart on lean hogs looks like today. That's cattle. HE. Oh. Bearish. It's like a cattle. Bullish. Interesting. You haven't lived until someone is asking you where you want your hogs delivered. Look at this. NQ continues to grind up. ES continues to sell off. Big divergence. Which one's going to pull the other one up or down? My guess is they're going to pull NQ down. Let's see what happens. Because everything's down. Everything's selling off but NQ. I would expect that the overarching market to pull NQ down with it. Oh, Chuck's long. Tell me you're long without telling me you're long, Chuck. Look at this. Is it going to take NQ out of value again? Sure feels like it. Well, everything else, while ES is about to test lows again here. A catalyst. Oh, I didn't even see catalyst. Zane needs a catalyst to trade live cattle. But we got Zane here telling jokes. He'll be here all night. All right, here comes our zone again. 914. Feels heavy here. ES about to test lows. Oh,
So we're seeing reports that the Treasury
Josh, maybe some coffee futures will give me caffeine. I need to be more alert.
Again, a statement from the Treasury says that there are technical issues with the auction today. Use von der Leyen says Europe must show strength in trade negotiations with the US. That's Europe must show strength with the US.
I hear frozen orange juice is a real volatile too. I don't trade any softs. Never have. Not once. There it goes. Awesome, man. Don't forget the VWAP and volume profile too. The initial balance is very powerful, but it's only a part of the puzzle. We also use VWAP with one standard deviation bands. We also use the volume profile to tell us a complete story of what is happening in the market.
So keep in mind, European Commission President von der Leyen currently participating
Excellent tomorrow.
in plenary debates ahead of her vote of no confidence on Thursday. We've got the live video for that on the feed for those interested.
Nice trade. ES new lows, Russell new lows, Dow straight down. Caught a little bounce there, value area low and initial balance low. Very little bounce, but caught it. So now we're back in this distribution here, right, guys? Look, right there. Right in here. See if we can break out of it. All right, guys, as we come into the last 10 minutes here, it looks like we might get another nice move down in Q. Does anybody have any questions before I wrap up today's trading session? I need to grab lunch and then I have some work I need to do. I have a meeting at 12:30. Happy to take some questions for the next 10 minutes if anybody has any. Oh, I don't know. It depends on where your break even is, JP. Hopefully it's above this level here. Does that look like the back test? Awesome, tomorrow. I'm glad that you're learning daily, and for sure there looks like it's trying to grind back through it. False breakdown on NQ. Crazy. Dow is so weak. Does not like the tariff news. Kyle wants to know when will I start making some money to pay off these bills? Well, that's a great question. Depends. How long have you been trading? Becca says, what is the name of the indicator with red and green dots on the chart? This is called the climax volume chart by Zierman. This is not a free indicator. It's a paid indicator, but you can try it out for free. You can grab it here and give it a whirl. Climax volume. For future class and Q&As, trying to get used to placing orders through the DOM. Yep, similar to your style. Would you be able to do a quick walkthrough on that in a class? For sure, we can do that again. I've done it a couple of times. I wish I took better notes on our Q&As and coaching. That way I could just kind of like refer you back to it. But yeah, happy to do it. I'll do it this Thursday. So this is a great question. Gooseface Killer says, Chris, have you noticed any difference in fill time as you scalp SimProp accounts? Does it sim a bigger order fill as you add? I literally notice zero difference, Gooseface, between my live cash account and prop firms like Project X and Trade of 8. Literally no difference. So that should be encouraging for anybody trading either or. It doesn't seem to matter what I'm trading. I seem to get the exact results and I don't notice any difference. I think Logger's asking for my first prop firm account. Should I open Top Step or another? Yeah, I mean, Top Step has a great offer with $49. They're very reputable, very easy to use. I really like Project X. I think it depends on if you want to use Trade of 8 or not, or whether you're okay with Project X. I think that would be the big decision maker for me if I were you. Are you going to use Project X or you? Yeah, so then it should be Top One or Tradeify because Top Step doesn't have Trade of 8 anymore. Yep. And you can catch I get better discounts than what's available on the website. So be sure to use the links. They make it so that we actually can offer better deals than they give the public. Both of them, Tradeify and Top One, are both in the prop firms category under premium education. I think you might get a better, I think Top One might be a little cheaper for you to start if you grab one of their evaluations, but look at them both and then you can decide, or ask questions after you look at both of them. But I would probably start with Tradeify or Top One so you can use Top One. No, Top One doesn't have Tradeify. It would be only Tradeify. I'm sorry, Tradeify has Tradeify. Top One and Top Step only have Project X now. Only platform they offer. Yeah, there. I mean, any account that's bought after June 30th, I think, Hella. Now it's gone. You're kind of grandfathered in, I think. I think for anybody new, I really like Project X because of the risk management controls. Let me show you that here real fast, guys. You can go into your risk settings and you can actually put your risk settings in and then you can lock yourself out. So you can't even change your risk settings. So let's say my max loss is $500 for the day. And if I hit $500, liquidate and block me. And then I can lock myself out of these risk settings so that I can't change them in that session. Yeah, I think Top Step it's new as of June 30th. June 30th, yeah. About a week ago. Buyers stepping in. Okay, guys, I'm going to grab lunch. Thanks for joining us today. If you're going to continue trading, manage your risk, stay sharp. If you're in the Discord, head on over to the trading lounge. If you're going to keep trading, you can trade with your other VWAP Wave system traders. You can collaborate, share your mics, share your charts, whatever you want to do in there. That is a room for you guys to use. If you're going to continue trading, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. You can head on over to the trading lounge, manage your risk, stay sharp, and we'll be back at it tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for joining us today. Hopefully you traded well, and there's always tomorrow. Yes, E-Money, I'm on daily, every day, every trading day, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for 2 hours. All right, guys, have a great day. I'll be in the Discord. If you need anything, hit me up, tag me. Always available for questions, and I'll see you guys later.